One of the reasons why I thought it would be good for me to go back to school, to Charles Sturt University, was to enhance a portion of my background that I felt at the time when I was working that didn't have enough in it. In other words, I was working as a flight paramedic, but there was a business side to the operation, and I was tasked with business reporting and found that I didn't have the requisite knowledge that I needed to really understand what I was doing. So at that time, I said I need to go back and I need to fill in those gaps, and I need to be able to do it in a distance format. So Charles Sturt University was a natural choice for me. I first heard about CSU when I was working as a flight paramedic in Ontario. A lot of our flight paramedics were taking the distance Bachelor of Clinical Practice program offered through CSU. I'd given a lot of thought about going back to school to upgrade my education. I had watched very carefully how the flight paramedics were taking the distance program, the Bachelor of Clinical Practice, and I saw that they had a great deal of trust that they were learning well. So it was a natural choice for me when I was considering going back to school to go back to an institution that I had seen demonstrate a good record in distance education. Charles Sturt University is very accessible. I am a Canadian and was able to access, had first heard of Charles Sturt University through other Canadian students, and was able to access it easily at that time through the internet and find all my questions answered very easily. The admissions process was easily navigable. My course materials always arrived on time, and I found that I had very easy access to all my subject coordinators and professors. They made the experience very enjoyable for me. It doesn't mean that the subjects were easy, because they were hard, but on the other hand, I was able to persevere and make it all the way through. One of the things that I found really refreshing when I joined in 2005 for the Master of Business Administration was that the fact that the staff and all the other students in my cohort were very accessible. So whether it was on a forum or through emails or at that time through online meetings, I was able to access them and able to have that interactivity that I needed to help me with my coursework. There's a lot of things that I enjoyed about studying at CSU. The pace was very, very good. I found the materials were very relevant and up to date. A lot of the business case studies that we were studying were topical and of the day, so it was happening right then. And one of the things that I found very, very good was the instant applicability. So in other words, when I was taking a subject, I was able to incorporate elements from that subject immediately into my job at the time. Having a Master of Business Administration has helped my career progression. I've been in emergency services almost 22 years, and I found that the clinical side, there's lots of supports within the systems that I was working. However, when you want to progress past that point into management or into education, those weren't necessarily there. So having the ability to take, in this case, a Master of Business Administration online really helped me both seek out and get rewarding opportunities in management and in senior management in both of those areas. At that point in both my career and my life, I was a young parent and I had a lot of responsibilities in my present job at the time. So fitting a distance education program in made the most sense to me. I had taken part-time programs where I had to attend a classroom on weekends and evenings, and I'd also gone full-time early in my career at uni. But this was an instance where I knew I had to work every day. I would have some time for my studies there, and I would not necessarily be able to travel. So you give up that part that, being in the classroom with students all around you, and you trade it in for a virtual classroom. So in that respect, it allowed me to balance my work life and my home life, and in this case, what I brought on was the school life very well. I would describe CSU in 3 words by saying, right for me.